All right, hey guys. All right, I gotta admit right away that I had to restart this video because there was so much squeaking going on, and I think it's from the mic or something. But there was this segment where for like 3 minutes I was just looking for the stupid squeaking sound, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start over. So I started over. I'll admit this wasn't the first take, which I want to stick to being first take. But I'll jump right in. All right, I got a great question from Matthew on my community section. He said, you said before that journaling played a big part for you in your life the last couple years. Could you maybe share a bit more on how you journal and especially how to really get lessons and learnings out of your journaling? This is a great question, Matthew. Thanks for asking. I was really excited about making this video because of how much journaling has benefited me. It's definitely something that I recommend to every single guy that will help you become a more just whole, developed, confident man. First off, I want to share, you can journal with an actual pen and paper in a notebook. That's what I did for probably the first 8 years, and then I switched over to typing on my phone or Google Doc, and I ran into issues there. I didn't like it because it distracted me. I went back to the real books, and then ultimately have landed on this remarkable. I can explain that in a different video if you want. But what I journal, first thing I always write is the day, the date, the time, and the place. So Wednesday, July 23rd, 3:33 p.m., my office, whatever. I don't know why, it's a habit, and when I look back on it, I know exactly where I was when I wrote it. It's kind of a little cool thing to be able to look back on. But what do I journal? I journal my thoughts, my feelings, what happened the day before, what I'm looking forward to, kind of just like whatever comes to mind. When I pick up the pen, I just start writing. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Was it something that happened yesterday? Was it something I'm thinking about today? Was it something I'm feeling? Was that something I am dreaming about? Like literally whatever. There's no rule here. I think that's what's so great about it. And what ends up happening is as I write, what's underneath the surface in my life, in my heart, in my mind, come to the surface. And it helps me kind of regulate where I'm at, what's really going on with my life. When I first started journaling, by the way, I've been doing this for 12 years, and it's been this progression of different things that I write about. But yeah, I also have under here fears, insecurity, lies. Lies is a really good thing to write down on paper. Like what are these lies? What are the lies that I've been hearing a lot of? And here's the key to this part. A lot of the thoughts that you have, that I have, are lies. They're not actually true. They're just lies. And it's not until I get them on paper and look at them that I can actually recognize this is just a lie. And it's been ruining my life for the last 14 days straight. I'll write down, I don't feel good enough because I saw my friend and he makes more money than me. Therefore, I'm not enough. If I say that out loud and I look at it, then I'm like, oh, that's a lie. That's a thought that I've been having that's a lie. And then I can just be like, that's not true. My worth, and I'll just write, my worth does not come from how much money I make, period, whatever. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about 3 things that really benefit me from journaling. Number 1 is the biggest one. It slows me down and it refocuses my eyes on what matters most in my life. One thing that I didn't mention yet is 99% of the time I journal first thing in the morning. Before I look at my phone, before I do anything, I go get a cup of coffee and I journal. I'll grab my journal and I'll grab my Bible. Okay, that's just a cricket. It's cricket season here. Cricket season sucks in Waco. So, yes, so key to focus your eyes on what matters most and get yourself present. I'm telling you, there's like nothing worse than waking up in the morning and just like scrolling or getting and just consuming these news. It just starts your day off anxious. So I will also always get up before I do anything. So this morning, for example, I got up at 7 a.m. No, sorry, I didn't get up at 7 a.m. I was going to play pickleball at 7 a.m. So I got up at 6 because I knew I needed that time to journal beforehand. I don't like getting up and leaving. I don't like getting up and just starting my day without having that time to just like build into it. Doesn't matter how early I get up, I'll get up before to journal. Slows me down, sets my eyes. So I'll write down almost, I guess every single journal, I'll write down what like either a thank you, a prayer to God, this is what I'm thankful for, and like this is what my life is about. Like, I don't know. There isn't a format. That's what's so important for you to know if you begin journaling. You don't have to have some sort of format. But I definitely recommend, if you don't know what to do at all, I would recommend waking up and just write out, what are you thankful for today? Like when you, first thing in the morning, write out, what are you thankful for? What do you know to be true about you? If you don't know what's true about you, I'll make a different video. We can talk about that. That's a very important topic. But I encourage you, like this is my one challenge for you today, to try starting your day off by just writing something you're thankful for, or just write about yesterday, write about today, write about what you want in your life before you get on your phone. Just try it. I can unpack this so much more, but I'm gonna just go to the next one. Number 2, I wrote, it forces me to be honest. If I lie to myself, I have to lie to my pen. And do I really want that? Like, it's pretty pathetic if I'm lying to myself on, no one else is gonna see this. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, what's the point of lying to myself? But I can really be honest. And what I mean by that, I'll give you an example. Like, if I'm frustrated with, I'm doing, I feel like I'm doing most of the chores around the house, right? And I'm really mad about it, but I'm trying to, like, oftentimes I'll lie to myself and be like, oh, I'm not that mad about that. It's because I'm this mature being, right? And then I actually write it out and I'm like, when I really think about it, I'm really mad about this because I feel like I'm doing more, whatever. Then I have to look at it and be like, the reality is I'm being selfish and I can't, and instead of me just serving, I want to be served, I want to be selfish. And I have to look myself in the mirror and be like, oh, that's actually true. I can't lie and be like, oh, it doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. That comment that somebody said to me doesn't bother me. I'm unfazed. But if I actually journal it out, I can either lie and be like, oh, I'm lying to myself, I'm not bothered. Or I can actually write, I am bothered by this. And then I can go the next step, why? So, which leads me back to number 1. It really slows down your thinking. Like when you write, you can't write as fast as you can think. It's impossible. So when you write, you're really slowing down your thoughts and thinking about what is the thing underneath the thing. Because there's always a thing underneath a thing in your life. Whether you're mad about something, whether you're happy about something, whether you're anxious about something, whether you're like excited, any of those feelings, there's something underneath it that's kind of driving it, and it helps me understand what's going on. And the thing underneath the thing is where you find so much gold that's gonna help you in your life. And number 3, I'll just say it's tangible. Specifically, like you can see your thoughts, you can see your feelings. And for me, I like to see and touch and feel. And so when I see that on the paper, it almost releases me from just like the chaos that's in my head sometimes, or the feelings that I have. And it gives me empathy for myself. Like I'll write, today I'm really insecure about the video I posted. And this is real because this was yesterday. I feel like it was stupid. I feel like I'm not really making any sense. And I just want to quit, period. When I read that and I see that, if I was reading somebody else's words, I would have empathy for them. I would have grace for them, be like, oh dang, that's a human being, right? But when I just have it up here in my head, it's hard. Sometimes I just have a hard time having empathy for myself, but when I see it, I can have empathy. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna open my journal. So I'll show you. I have this journals tab. If I go to, well, actually I have it right here under July, but if I go to personal and go to journals, right now I have it. Here's 2024, 2025. I started on the Remarkable in 2024. And so I have January, February, March, April, May, June. Let's just go, what time is it? 3:42. 3 is March. Okay, let's go March 4th. Let's go March 4th. Let's see if I wrote something on March 4th. So here's all of March. March is 22 pages. So I guess I didn't write, I guess I didn't write 30 every day in March. So let's go March. Page 4 is Wednesday, March 5th. I'll just read you my journal. Father, I love you. This is me talking to God. Thank you for loving me all the days of my life. Thank you that you have never given up on me. Last night I spoke to the Baylor football Bible study. There's something special happening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story. I pray for Wes, Colton, Matt, Josh, Kendrick, Michael, Sawyer, Caden, Cades, Walker, Bo, and all the others. There were so many moments with those guys where I just felt the Spirit overwhelm me with love. I truly just love them. In fact, I started speaking by saying multiple times, I love you guys. I just love you guys. A second. And then I just write some more stories. Like Michael told me that was one of the most vulnerable he has ever seen the guys since they started the Bible study, blah, blah, blah. At the end, I ended with another prayer. Thank you, Father. Thank you for restoring my purpose. Thank you for showing me what fullness of life is. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to turn my pain into my testimony. Keep me secure in your love. Do not let me wander. Keep me on a short leash. So with this one, I mean, as you can see, it was like, thank you for this event that happened yesterday. And for me, I got to just sit, whatever this was, 20 minutes. I sat there thinking about just how purposeful I felt in that night. And so it was an opportunity for me to remember in the morning. I started my day off by being like, last night was so meaningful for me because there was so much time in my life where I felt purposeless and just like I've wasted my life. But yesterday I got to use my story to encourage other guys, and that made me feel so good. And so I spent the next morning thanking God for that. I know I'm running out of time. Well, not running out of time, but this video is getting long. I don't care. There's one last thing I want to do. I'm gonna go to ChatGPT because I have inputted tons of journal entries into ChatGPT, and I want to ask the question. I'm just gonna ask that question that Matthew said. What are some of the lessons and learnings that I've gotten from my journals? What are some of the best lessons that I have learned as a result of journaling? So ChatGPT has access to about 6 years of my journals. Not all of them, but probably 180 pages, I think. Somewhere around there. It's definitely more than 100. Let's see what Chat says. Here are some of the most powerful lessons that you've learned through journaling, pulling from patterns across your entries 2018 to 2024. Number 1, honesty is the gateway to freedom. You've written some brutally honest things, not for others, but for yourself. And you've discovered that freedom doesn't come from fixing, it comes from confessing. Quote, I am not okay, I'm insecure, I'm afraid of being too much. These weren't setbacks, they were starting points. Number 2, God is always working, even when you don't feel it. That's another huge thing about journaling. Journaling helps me realize I can go back and be like, I remember thinking I was hopeless and I had God wasn't going to come through for me. And now I can look back after being past that season and be like, God did come through. He's worthy to be trusted. I'm going to trust him again. Number 3, you don't need to be impressive to be powerful. Over and over, you've seen that your realest moments are your strongest. Your journal taught you that people don't need your polish, they need your presence. And you can't give that if you're hiding. Number 4, your story matters not in spite of the pain, but because of it. So many of your entries revolve around brokenness, fear, or failure, and they always end with clarity, compassion, or calling. Journaling helped you see your scars are sacred, and that's where your power is. That's a huge one. I think the enemy uses your screw-ups, my mistakes, my failures, my scars to try to cripple me and make me think that I am useless and this is the reason that you're not enough. And the opposite is actually true. Your scars are actually your story, and there's power in that. Number 5, it says, you're not what you feel, you're who God says you are. You've learned to name your emotions, to slow down enough to ask, what am I really feeling? And you've learned to feel them without following them. Identity comes first, emotion comes second. It's really good. AI has been super cool in actually taking my journaling to the next level, because it'll go through and read stuff in the past and bring them forward, whereas otherwise I'd have to just go and just look through all of them. So it's super cool. That's taking journaling to the next level, which is another reason why 10 out of 10 recommend every man should journal. I believe, with all my heart, that the best thing I've done in the last 12 years, the single most important activity has been journaling, has been writing, and really spending intentional time trying to develop as a man. And that's a very, dang it, have I been out of focus this whole time? Frick, I'm gonna be pissed if I've been out of focus this whole time. I'm not starting this over. I love you guys. Matthew, thanks for the question.